The Pittsburgh Steelers have some huge decisions to make this offseason on both sides of the football, starting with the quarterback position. Will Russell Wilson return next year as QB1? And could they make a blockbuster trade for one of the best players in the National Football League? They are linked to a star edge rusher, Micah Parsons from the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to talk about that later in the video, starting with the quarterback position and recent news that just reached the light of day earlier this morning regarding Justin Fields and Russell Wilson and who could be the Steelers' QB1 next season. First and foremost, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, Steelers Digest, we're providing daily content throughout the offseason pertaining to your Pittsburgh Steelers, rumors, analysis, updates, and whatever news we can find here on Steelers Digest. Today, a report and a rumor is what we're going to cover, and we're going to start with the report that just was released a couple hours ago regarding the quarterback one for next season. There has been a lot of speculation about who the Steelers QB1 should be or could be heading into next season. Did Russell Wilson do enough down the stretch on that crazy losing streak to have the job, or are they more confident in Justin Fields, who was very impressive before he lost the starting job to Russell Wilson, a coach's decision by Mike Tomlin that may or may not haunt the Steelers? The recent report emerged this morning regarding the quarterback one. We want to know, who is going to be the Steelers quarterback next year? Will they draft one? Will they sign one? Will they sign one of these two guys that were on the roster last year? Fields, Wilson. This has been a report circus all offseason, and it will continue to be just circulating one rumor after another, and we're going to keep you updated as we know more and more information. The meter has swayed towards Justin Fields in the last few weeks, saying that he has a better chance of being the starting quarterback next year, and this report is a little bit more justification on that front. The Steelers get first dibs on the only quarterback they're known to have expressed interest in. And as more reports emerge, it's becoming somewhat clear what side the noise is coming from and what quarterback is being talked about more. Steelers fans have sat around waiting for any noise about Justin Fields. There have been plenty of reports, even more coming from Steelers on SI, that had made it a clear belief Fields is Pittsburgh's top choice. And a lot of the reports that I've seen on Twitter, on just the internet in general, on Instagram, on Facebook, whatever social media platform you use and that I use, I'm seeing Justin Fields a lot more frequently than Russell Wilson. On the Russell Wilson side, the noise is always there. You know, it's making sounds saying that the Steelers are getting closer to making a deal, but I see Russell Wilson going to the Raiders, truly. After Pete Carroll became the head coach of the Raiders, I would not be surprised if he's reunited with his starting quarterback, Russell Wilson, in Las Vegas. I think that's a perfect fit for Russ, helping a rebuilding young team, maximizing Brock Bowers. They're probably going to get some really good players in this next upcoming draft. Their offensive line's a little bit spotty, but that defense, whoo, led by Max Crosby, the Raiders could be a problem next year. And if Russell Wilson's their starting quarterback with Pete Carroll, that's obviously going to help all their younger players grow, which is their main responsibility right now, and their main task ahead is to continue to develop their players that they've been drafting. The Pittsburgh Steelers have expressed interest in the quarterback. This comes after Wilson said that the Steelers have had conversations about a contract, both of which are 100% accurate. So they're talking to Fields, they're talking to Wilson. Both guys are still in talks with the Steelers about a potential contract. Justin Fields, the younger option. Justin Fields probably the more cap-friendly option than Russell Wilson. And as far as where they currently stand and what's being said internally, this is the latest news that they have about the Steelers quarterback position, that both sides are still in conversations and in talks with GM Omar Khan, and that eventually a decision will be made, but no real factual proof either way at this point in time. So we'll continue to keep you updated as more reports surface throughout the offseason. Right now, noise coming from both sides. It's leaning towards Justin Fields. The needle is pointing that way, but Russell Wilson's still very much a possibility for the Steelers heading into next season. As we talk about what I was really excited to talk about on today's video, Micah Parsons possibly coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of my favorite players in the league. You know, being a Penn State fan, obviously I have a lot of love for Micah Parsons. Not necessarily what he did at Penn State, he wasn't there very long, but seeing what type of player he is developing into with the Dallas Cowboys, being one of the premier edge rushers in the National Football League. But the fact that the Steelers are linked to Micah Parsons is something that is completely news to me. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, and this report admits that it's kind of a long shot, but just dreaming about pairing TJ Watt and Micah Parsons together would be absolutely outstanding for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They already have Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig. Could you imagine those four guys coming at the quarterback? Micah Parsons off one side, TJ Watt off the other, Alex Highsmith and Nick Herbig as rotational pieces. That might be the scariest pass rush I've ever seen. I mean, just imagine, just picture that in your head. Is Micah Parsons content in Dallas? I don't believe that he is. He's obviously going to talk down any rumors that he wants to leave. But for the most part, I would expect Micah Parsons to be on a new team next year. And why not us? Why not the Pittsburgh Steelers? Micah Parsons would be a perfect fit. Him on the opposite side of TJ Watt is seriously the scariest thing I've ever heard. It really is. I mean, those two guys can get after the quarterback and in a hurry. They are two of the fastest guys off the edge in the entire NFL. Dominant forces. You can't double team both of them. So that would really help TJ Watt because you can't double team both of them. If you double team TJ Watt, that leaves Micah Parsons one-on-one. If you double team Micah Parsons, it leaves TJ Watt one-on-one. You have no options on defense. It reminds me of like DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller off the edge for the Denver Broncos back when they won the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning. That is the type of pass rush that we're looking at here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. An edge rusher isn't a pressing need for the Steelers. Obviously, they still have to talk to TJ Watt about a contract. But right now, the reports believe that a blockbuster trade could be on the horizon. If Micah Parsons is moved, Pittsburgh is at the top of that list of teams that Micah Parsons want to go to. He is a Pennsylvania native. Pittsburgh would have a very strong duo in TJ Watt and Micah Parsons. They already have a strong duo in TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, but adding Parsons, man, that would really push the Steelers defense over the top. Parsons' ability to just thrive all over the defense. He can play a ton of different positions. You put him in any spot and he's going to thrive. Like, he is just a freak athlete in general. He could even play middle linebacker if you need him to. He'll rush right up the middle. It doesn't matter. Mike blitz up the middle. I don't care. Whatever you could do with this weapon. He is a unicorn on the defensive side of the ball. He could literally play any position and at a high level at the NFL level. I mean, this guy is one of a kind. If the Steelers can get their hands on Micah Parsons, you have to do that. You seriously have to do that. It will actually prolong TJ Watt's regression in his career as well, because he wouldn't have to worry about these double teams and getting chop block every play. I mean, seriously, TJ Watt would have a lot easier time getting to the quarterback if Micah Parsons is rushing the passer on the other side. And that's not a knock on Alex Highsmith. I'm just saying there's levels to this game, right? And TJ Watt, Micah Parsons, they're at the top tier. So having those two guys, you know, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania native Micah Parsons, that would be a huge boost to the Steelers defense, no doubt about it. Parsons is one of the most electric defensive players in the National Football League since he entered the league. He's only 25 years old, 12 sacks or more in each of his first 4 seasons, over 100 quarterback pressures in 22 and 23, injury-ridden season last year. But, oh my gosh, this guy would be a huge addition for Mike Tomlin's defense. Mike Tomlin could say, hey, we're going to continue to spend big on the defensive side of the ball. That's the Steelers' identity. Steelers football is let's spend a ton of money on the defense and let's let the offense be second fiddle. The defense is what's going to carry this team. You get Micah Parsons. Whoo-wee. I'm just saying, guys, that would be crazy. Former Penn State standout coming to Pittsburgh. Oh my, it'd be a homecoming for Micah Parsons, and TJ Watt would love it more than anybody. I'm telling you right now, he would get some help on that opposite side. And if you have to put Alex Highsmith in the deal, I understand. If you have to put her big in the deal, I guess I understand. The Cowboys are going to want something back in return. Draft picks, I don't know. But whatever the price is, the Steelers need to pay it because Micah Parsons is the answer, 100%. They are looking at TJ Watt signing a extension possibly this offseason, a very lucrative one. Highsmith already signed a 4-year, $68 million extension a couple years ago, and he signed until 2028. And they admit right here that it's unlikely Pittsburgh goes out and gets Parsons because he is a top-of-the-market player demanding top-of-the-market money, but so is TJ Watt. So if you really want to, you pay TJ Watt top-of-the-market money, you pay Micah Parsons top-of-the-market money, and you have the best edge rush duo in the entire National Football League. I think it's a no-brainer. The Steelers are literally known for doing this, for spending money on the defense side of the ball. They have $40 million in cap space this offseason. Spend some of that on Micah Parsons. I don't care. If you got to trade Highsmith to make a deal work, seriously, do it. Seriously, do it. No hesitation from me. Absolutely not. Because there's levels. Like I said earlier, there's levels to this game. Alex Highsmith's great, but Micah Parsons is generational. And that's the difference. You get Micah Parsons and TJ Watt on the same, I'm dreaming about it, and my mouth is watering, my eyes are watering. I'm like, oh my gosh, could you imagine? I could imagine that. I really, really could, and I really hope the Steelers do this. I know it's a long shot. I understand it's a long shot, but a man can dream. A Penn State fan and a Pittsburgh Steelers fan can dream. And I'm dreaming right now about Micah Parsons and TJ Watt getting after the QB. So it's unlikely that it'll happen, but it is a report, and they are linked together. If Micah Parsons wants out, which I don't see why he wouldn't want out of Dallas, Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be right there ready to pounce on that opportunity to bring in one of the best edge rushers and one of the best players in the National Football League, pairing together two absolute future Hall of Famers. Yes, I said it. Future Hall of Famers, TJ Watt and Micah Parsons. Thank you guys for watching this video, Steelers Digest. We're going to keep you fueled with content all offseason long. Videos on the daily here on Steelers Digest. Stay tuned for the next one, but this one was all about my boy, Micah Parsons, coming to Pittsburgh. Steelers Nation, we'll see you on the next episode. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time here on Steelers Digest.